Hi guys, welcome to Mobizium. I'm Ruchi and we are here today to talk on the device of the Moto E series family, that is Moto E4 Plus. Now the main highlight of this phone is its 5000 mAh battery, which would definitely last up to 2 days. It also comes with the 5.5-inch display and metal design with the water repellent coating. So to be honest, it is a major upgrade over the Moto C series phone in this budget segment. Like the approximate range of this phone is 10,000 rupees in Indian market and it is exclusively available on Flipkart. So like we have played with this device for a few days and here we are with the full review of the phone and whether or not the phone is worth for the price it comes with. So let's get started. The first thing you'll notice when you hold this phone is, no, it's not how slim the phone is, but how heavy it is. Like it is that much heavy, like for a moment you would think it packs all the specs of a flagship phone, but no, that is not the case. The specs on paper are not very surprising. I'll list all the specs on the screen. It has 5.5-inch IPS screen with 720 by 1280 pixels resolution. It comes with 3 GB of RAM and 32 GB of internal storage. It also comes with Dolby Atmos speakers, a fingerprint scanner on the front, 13 megapixel rear camera and 5 megapixel front camera, both with flash, 5000 mAh battery, 1.25 GHz MediaTek processor, runs Android Nougat out of the box. The phone supports 4G VoLTE and can accept 2 nano SIM and a dedicated micro SD card slot. The display provided in this phone is IPS LCD and the combination of 5.5-inch screen size and 720p display resolution isn't very flattering. Motorola hasn't mentioned anything about the display, but still it is resistant to some sort of scratches like keys in your pockets or laying the screen flat on the table. The display also has a curved edges, so it feels easier to hold in the hand. If the weight wasn't enough to gripe about, the phone is also very bulky, so it gets very hard to wrap our hands around the device. Build quality looks solid and premium. I like the metal back. It reminds me of the Moto G5 Plus. Like if you look at the back, you will notice that it is similar to the Moto G5 Plus. The same camera structure along with the Motorola logo. Though the top and bottom extremes are made up of plastics and it has surprisingly a removable back. The battery is not easily swapped, like you have to unscrew the metal sheet, which is a kind of disappointment. But the good thing is it has a dedicated SD card slot and it is expanded up to 128 GB. I would have liked if they had provided capacitive buttons for navigation. Since the screen is already 720p and there is nothing which we can do about it, so we have to use the on-screen buttons. But what we could do is we could adjust the scaling ratio of the phone if you want more space on your screen, or you could just use the dedicated fingerprint sensor for navigation. As in, if you don't like the on-screen navigation buttons, then you could use the home button, that is the fingerprint sensor, as it also supports swipe gestures. Moto has provided a dedicated app for customizing the home button. Moto keeping the stock Android experience is a good thing, but they could have simply integrated the Moto gestures in the setting itself rather than providing a separate app for it, which does nothing but changes the setting. Using the swipe gestures to go back and access the random apps works fine, but it doesn't feel like an Android experience. So right now I would stick to the on-screen navigation buttons. And if you want to make the most of the screen space, then you have to adjust the display size and the font size. I'll show you that in a moment. So what is going to happen with this 720p display resolution is that the screen looks cluttered with big text and icons. So we want to reduce the size of all the items appearing on the screen. So what we have to do is we have to go to the settings, display, reduce the font size and display size. There it is. Now as you can see, we have more room to more items. So I would highly recommend doing this the first time you get this phone. Coming to the camera, I like how Moto has managed to avoid the camera bumps this time. So when it is placed right on the surface, it doesn't scratch the camera lens as well as it doesn't struggle balancing itself flat on the table. The rear camera is 13 megapixel with an LED flash and it can record only 720p videos at 30 frames per second. Now this is due to the limitations of the processor, of course. The front camera is a 5 megapixel with LED flash as well. The focusing speed is fairly fast. Now before we get into picture quality details, let me tell you what options you get in the camera app. There is no Pro mode, but we get options like Smile Shot, HDR, Beauty mode and digital zoom up to 4x. We customize shutter buttons like tap anywhere to capture or via only shutter button. The photo quality results is okay. Low light images are decently lit but it is noisy. And the daylight image is average, but I have to say the colors look natural. Don't expect too much from the camera because of the slower processor it is running on. Battery is where this phone aces. It is packing 5000 mAh non-easily removable battery. So it will easily last up to 2 days with normal usage, and if you are someone who doesn't check your phone every 2 minutes, then it can last up to 3 days as well. So in terms of battery performance, it is 10 on 10. The performance of this phone is not going to impress you much. It runs on MediaTek 1.25 GHz processor. It does the job, but not at a speed which you would expect from a phone of 2017. So running a high-end heavy graphic game is as pointless as asking Samsung to remap the Bixby key. But still the phone has managed to run Asphalt 8 with low graphic settings and without much lag. The fingerprint reader is not the fastest, but for the price range it comes with, we can't really complain about it. It worked pretty much well in most of all our tries. And coming to the sensor segments, it just has light, proximity and accelerometer sensor. So Moto could have done a bit better in this segment. One thing that goes unappreciated about the budget phone is its loudspeaker audio quality. Most of the times people don't care or they don't expect too much from the budget phones. But let me assure you that the audio quality of Moto E4 Plus is crystal clear, all thanks to the Dolby Atmos speaker. Deep bass and lows and highs are pretty distinctive. So coming to the conclusion, is it worth the price? I think for the brand like Moto and specs of an average phone with the latest Android update isn't that bad. And for the price range, like it is as low as 10,000 rupees with 32 GB internal storage, 3 GB of RAM and a premium build quality is totally worth the price. So this was all about the Moto E4 Plus. For more details, log on to our website mobizium.com. Leave your opinions in the comment section about the device and kindly subscribe if you haven't. Thank you so much for watching.